This video is going to highlight 10 reasons why the vast majority of people should be watching more baseball. I will also be addressing some of the reasons why I think people are a little reluctant to follow baseball rather than NFL or NBA. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe to help out the channel. I work really hard to research, record, and edit these videos, and your support tells me that you appreciate it too. If you come across this video and you aren't a fan of baseball, please leave me a comment on why you don't watch baseball. The first reason you should be watching more baseball is also why I think people seem to not watch the MLB. The speed of the game. I've met a lot of NBA fans that criticize the MLB for being too slow. Baseball was designed as a game where you can get up, get a hot dog and a beer, or a soda if you're under the legal drinking age, sit back down, and the game really didn't change much. I don't know about you, but I don't exactly love being glued to the TV for the length of any professional sports game. And if the game does change while you're away, that brings me to reason number 2. There is no clock. If your team gives up a home run while you're making yourself a hot dog in the bottom of the 8th, your team is not out of it yet. I've seen plenty of games where a team rallies in the top of the 9th and wins the game. Each play and each pitch may take some time, but the suspense of knowing your team could go on a 3-run rally keeps you on the edge of your seat until the very end. It is a game of strategy. A lot of NFL fans I've met love the strategy of each play in football, how the defense is supposed to predict what the offense will do in counter. Baseball may not have that same defense versus offense strategy, but there are so many decisions that need to be predicted to beat the other team. For example, when a pitcher throws a slider, it typically has what's called horizontal break of 7 to 9 inches at the MLB level. That means that the ball is going to move sideways 7 to 9 inches from where it would be heading if the pitcher threw it straight. If that ball is coming at a hitter at 80 to 90 miles an hour, the hitter has to guess that it's a slider pretty early. Also, because a batter that bats with the same hand that a pitcher throws with typically doesn't do as well, this creates strategy in the manager's choice of who's hitting depending on who's pitching or vice versa. It is a true team sport. It does not take one good quarterback or one good point guard to win a championship. One player does not have as much power over the outcome of the season. This can easily be shown by looking at Barry Bonds, who is arguably the best hitter of all time and never won a World Series. Another example would be the 2018 to 2021 Angels, who, despite having Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, and Albert Pujols, didn't even make the playoffs. This also makes dynasties so much more intriguing due to the baseball mentality of having a couple of the best players doesn't win you rings. 17 games is not enough. I can never understand the appeal of NFL's 17-game seasons. Baseball has 162 games in a season, which may make some people go, so one game doesn't matter at all? That would be extremely false in most seasons. For example, the 2025 Mets and the 2025 Reds both had exactly 83 wins and were tied for the last playoff spot of the year. The Reds ended up taking the tiebreaker because they had more wins against the Mets in the regular season. If the Mets won just one more game that year, they would have made the playoffs. 162 is just a much better sample size than 17 for deciding who the best teams are. Series instead of instant elimination. The NFL playoffs are one game each. This may be a good way to keep worse teams in the running for the Super Bowl champions, but it is a terrible way to accurately decide who the best team is. MLB has a collection of series for their playoffs. I don't want to get stuck on the better sample size argument, but it is a very valid argument when it comes to truly deciding what team is best. In 2025, the Seattle Mariners were a good team, but the Blue Jays were definitely the better team all around. However, if the American League Championship Series was only the first game, the Mariners would have gone on to the World Series and the better team season would have been over. Baseball players stay good longer than most sports. Unless you are Tom Brady or LeBron James, it is harder to be a decent athlete for your team after you turn 35. Barry Bonds set the single-season home run record at 36 years old. If you want someone that wasn't pumped full of steroids, Nolan Ryan pitched a game where the opposing team didn't get a single hit against him at age 44. Most of the time, you can love your favorite player a lot longer if he's a baseball player than most other sports. Contracts are usually longer. This pairs somewhat with the previous reason because it allows you to enjoy the great players on your team for a longer period of time. Juan Soto is a rising star in baseball and just signed a 15-year deal with the New York Mets. That means, barring any trades late in his career, he will be a New York Met until 2039. If Mets fans like Soto, they can now watch him hit in the orange and blue for a decade and a half. Baseball players are flashy. There are flashy moments in other sports as well, with great touchdown catches or crazy dunks, but my God, there's nothing better than a smooth swing and a bat flip after a home run, or a diving catch where it seems like the player's flying. To prove it, I'll spend a couple seconds showing you guys the flashiest moments in recent MLB.
MVP. There's a drive to deep right field. It's a catcher's balk. Echeverria unloads. About it, calling it right now. In the air to left. Snacks pitching in the World Series. Wells turns on a ball. Send. Here's a 2-1. There's a drive. It's a bullet.
And the 10th reason why you should be watching more baseball is baseball was already old when your grandpa was born. There are tons of historic moments for baseball. The first World Series year was in 1902. From 1902 to 2025, there have been well over 200,000 MLB games, including the postseason games, which allows for so many great moments, and they're all at your fingertips. All you have to do is tune in. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if I, in any way, made you consider becoming a baseball fan, please drop a like and comment, "I believe in baseball." And remember, gamers love baseball, and baseball loves gamers, or at least I do.